Munich, the Barbs have chased me all the way here, but unfortunately for them, bam, it's my first settlement on Europe. I have, a lovely 4 population because of Hic Sonc Dracones. All I need now is to make sure that it doesn't starve, which is difficult because I haven't got enough food on a lot of these tiles. However, I can bring my builder there, put the fishing boat down, that's a little bit of extra food, and then buy a granary really quickly, and it's stable. Amazing. Let's get the harbour down as quickly as possible. Actually, before that, I'll get the walls. Lovely. Oh no, I've done the thing. I've taken away a food tile. You numpty, Ursa. You absolute numpty. There you go. Grab this one. That should do. An aid request. Yes, I would love to put another one of these through. I'm going to put 4 votes up on it because I really wanted to go through it. It's probably not needed, but sometimes people do vote against it. Yeah, look, do you see? Manitoria is not up for that, but now there are 2 aid requests. It means that any aid project, like this one, send aid that I do, that actually applies to both projects. So it's doubly effective now. Definitely want to keep an eye on that one. 5,200 gold for Einstein. Oh, that's expensive. That is expensive. Actually, my new city has a Hansa with no workshop or factory in it. That's amazing. Down you come, James Watt. Yes. All right, Spain. Which is the city? Valencia is the one with the industrial zone. I'm coming for you. Making a bit of a gambit with my boats here by keeping them just on the shoreline. The field cannon. Oh, Spain's denouncing me. That is a shame. Oh, England just got flight just before me. Look, do you see like that? They all attacked my caravel rather than charging for my settler. Amazing. Statue of Liberty time. If I pick up Statue of Liberty and get both of those aid request projects done, or the little emergencies, I'll pick up 8 points in total. That's 4 of the points. Diplomacy, we are well on the way with. Do you see what I mean? Diplomacy is just something you can be ticking along with whilst you're going for other victory conditions. There's never a need to separate out diplomacy from science and culture. You just don't need to do it. I'm just keeping all of my alliances open. No need to let those expire. The world likes me. The world is letting me get away with whatever I want to get away with. Take it. Take it, I say. And look at that. Yeah, we're still remaining happy. There's a bit of a fire in Munich, which is a problem because I'm actually losing population from that. Oh, don't do that. No, no, no. And as you can see, research labs are now being built everywhere. Speaking of, yeah, okay, Einstein was just taken last turn. I was trying to save up to see if I could get close enough to buy him, but it was too expensive in the end. No matter. We'll get other more useful people. In the end, with this many scientific city-states, I don't think Einstein was needed. That's what I'll keep telling myself as I cry myself to sleep. Taruga is the last scientific city-state. Look at that, 292. So every city now needs a campus with a university in, because each university is now worth 10 science. Oh my lord, that's ridiculous. Yeah, guess what you're building? One of the most satisfying things you can do is to send a lot of builders into one city all at the same time and just watch them all improve stuff simultaneously. It's like desolate land. Now it's amazing. Okay, we got away with the gambit. We've settled another city on this frozen little wasteland. Thing is, it's not that much of the wasteland because Auckland is giving me production on all of these coastal tiles. It actually makes the city much better than it has any right to be. So I don't mind this at all. So I could go immediately in and try and get a tech boost. But what I'm going to do is just gain sources first, which makes the spy a lot more effective. It slows them down. It gives me a chance of actually making a spy mission without them dying, which is the main thing that happens to me in Spies. If you've been watching this channel for a long time, it doesn't matter how effective a spy is supposed to be. I will always take the bottom of any random luck draw on Spies. It's just a thing. I don't know why it's a thing. I don't know if I downloaded a mod at some point or I've got a virus on Civ 6 that makes my spies less effective than they should be. I don't know what it is. But if you've watched this channel enough, you'll know that I'm not lying. I'm really not lying. Corona has actually flipped. I'm going to let this flip naturally to me. If it does, I get era score. And I like era score. You know, one regular and small problem you have with allies is that they stand troops in random places in your land. Like this knight has been on this tile for a long time. I want to work it. This cavalry will not move. We've got a man-at-arms stood on an industrial zone I want to put a factory onto. Please move. I wish there was a way you could just say, hey, AI, please move your unit. Alas, there never is. There never is. You may notice that a lot of my improvements I'm focusing on putting farms and just general food improvements on. It's because of my industry. My industrial backbone of my nation is so strong, I'd rather focus on the food. Namely, I would quite like to get my cities to 15 population because later in the game, I can plug in rationalism and that gives me 50% extra science from my research labs and universities and libraries and all that good stuff. If the city is 15 population or higher, I don't have really any +4 campuses at all. It just wasn't really a start that could help me. In fact, I've got none. So that side of rationalism won't help, but the other sides, they will be fine. Here is a Ferris wheel and an aquarium. I'm hoping, but now we should start to see a couple of ecstatic cities appearing. We'll see if this works. Flight, just a little bit more tourism. My tourism is beginning to build up now. It's not building up so fast that I'm going to win the game, but it is building up a little bit, and that is always lovely to see. Let's just keep settling as much as we can. You can see these cities are very close to each other. I am aware of that, but we've got Hansas being built. We've got harbors being cut out. All I want from up this sort of area of the map is just a lot of trade routes, extra trade routes to boost the production of my homeland. This is really important that you do this if you want to win a science victory, because ideally you'll have about 101 trade routes coming out of Munich, and that will boost all of the production once you've got things like Wisselbanken, democracy. There's a lot of stuff that works well. Oh, we're up to 300 science per turn now, and England's on 51, 43. I'm beginning to reel them in slowly, very slowly, but it is happening now. Magnus, I'm going to actually get down to industrialist. Extra power from all of the coal that I am producing in this city is going to be very helpful. You can see at the moment I am the only carbon polluter in the game. It's not ideal. It's causing me -5 carbon emissions, but I've got +18 from my Renaissance walls. That I'm pretty happy with. How's the aid request going? England is now up to 2,000. They are burning projects like crazy. All right, we've got to counter with a few projects of our own. We've got 8 turns until the next one, so I can fit 3 of these send aid projects in. Berlin, when you're done, you can do another 3. Munich, when you're done, you can do another 3. We're going crazy. I am burning through these diplomacy points now. Both of these victories, that would put me onto 15 points. That puts me within range of victory. So I want to do that as soon as I can, ideally. It's a bit of a cheaty way of dealing with barbarians, but you can just buy the tile they're on. Spawns a few more, but it means they're not going to spawn anymore after that point. It's a bit of a gamble as to whether that's worth it or not. I don't know. Jury's out on that one. Power is going to be a problem, but watch this. 1, 2, 3 research labs, all finished on the same turn. I'm on 322 science. Oh no, I'm not. I'm on 369. Oh, yeah, that's big. Oops. That's what happens when you move a settle around and you blindly move it into a bunch of barbarians. I was just sort of moving into the shadow, like for instance, taking the movement of 7 movement and going, oh, I'll just go and move there, and yeah, barbarians appeared. Ah, that's a mistake. I mean, that's just rude. That's just rude. Spain is going to build Petra across from me, and I'm building Petra. I'm going to actually build that just to spite you now, Spain. I'm sorry. I'm not allowing that. That's just cheeky. That's just cheeky. Oh, thank goodness they moved off this tile eventually. Bam, free factory. So a couple of my cities have now switched off because I'm now using more coal than I'm generating. Okay, one way to deal with that is, for instance, in a city like Munich, I need to actually build a shipyard in, because that will give me a little bit more power. In fact, actually, let's focus on the cities that are not being powered right now. So that's resources. Munich is resources, but it's only one resource. I would like to find, yeah, no, it's my capital is the big problem. Shipyard, done. The barbarians didn't move. Huh. Well, I will take advantage of that and I will escape into the great unknown, but that is very random. Normally the barbarians would instantly take you there. I don't know what's happening. Sometimes AI can get a little clunky. You've just got to take it. You've just got to say, hey, if you're going to give me that free shot, I will take that free shot. Just like that, I just accidentally moved a unit onto that tower, which is really annoying. Right, I'm going to bring my warrior over, and then, of course, there's a field cannon. This is a turn full of bad moves. Never mind. I very rarely do this, but I'm actually going to have to take a coal injection from Vicky. Please, give me your best English coal, like 1 turn's worth of gold, which gives me a few turns worth of power. It just means that all of my cities are generating all of the yields. Otherwise, things like research labs, stock exchanges, we're about to get broadcast centers. If they're not powered, they get a lot worse. Yep, okay, I think I've lost this warrior if I'm not careful, because this skirmisher is going to just chase me into the sea. That's not ideal. Oh well, it's my own fault. John Jacob Astor, 2 envoys. Excellent. And Ada Lovelace gives me 2 charges and another district in the city, as well as the Eureka for computers. Very useful. Gonna keep an eye on this because I want to get all of my seawalls in place before we get to level 2 of climate change. Level 1 is a warming phase, but it's basically just a warning. The world's getting bad and you haven't done anything about it. Phase 2, that's when the sea starts to rise. Sea level rises 1 meter. Lowland tiles will flood at or below 1 meter. It's not good. If you ever have a look, want to look at this, just press 4 on your keyboard, look at the settler lands, and you can see any tiles that are going to flood. So it says flood 3, 3rd level. Ages away. We haven't got to worry about that. Any first level ones? No. I've actually managed to settle in quite a bunch of normal places. Oh no, here, a couple of tiles. These little snowy tiles. Yeah, fine. John Jacob. What are we going to do with these envoys? I think I want to make my research labs better, because Hunza, Zanzibar, Auckland, and Cardiff all follow me. That's great. So yeah, 3 envoys now into Taruga. This gives me 3 science for every research lab. Watch my science, 396. Bam, to 420. We're going to just keep doing this. And until I know that a city needs a district, I'm going to just save my charges. Although I do know that Berlin needs a district. So bam, there you go, computer boosted. Once we're done with these aid projects, we're going to get a theatre square in on that tile. Now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. All of these projects now going through. That's all lovely. And you can see I'm starting to gain quite a lot of gold. I just need to make sure that I beat England. So I'll have to give a bit of a cash injection towards the end, but all of the projects I do now saves me a lot of gold later. And we're also working on this one, which is still 22 turns away, but the work I do now saves me work later. Okay, let's sabotage production. Yeah. Watch Petra being built. Oh, yeah, you see, you're actively building this. I can see you, Spain. I can see you. Unfortunately for you, I have an absolute powerhouse of a city building mine. Oh, the warrior corps survived. That is a New Year's miracle. We'll take it. We'll take it. Another 2 envoys. This time, I'm going to put them into Geneva. 1, 2. Again, watch for science. Every research lab is going to get boosted. Bam, 455. Now, there is a point where actually getting Kilwa to fire off would be good. If I can take Geneva and Taruga now, that would give me 15% bonus science across my empire and another 15% from Geneva because I'm not at war with anyone at the moment. That's not a bad idea at all. Oh, look, I've actually finally kicked all of the units out of my territory. Oh, that took forever. I'm going to just let them back in because I want the alliance and I've got trade routes to them, but still, that's quite amusing. Hermitage! I think I was building this in this city because there was nothing else to build at the time, and then I totally neglected to make it build traders or spies or something else, but Hermitage is actually quite useful. It's what I like to call the baby care center of great works. You can put 4 slots of great art in there. It never themes, but there's also no penalty for having art of the same artist in it, so it's a really good place just to stack stuff if there's nowhere else to put it. Excellent. We like that. Okay, Magnus Industrialist. Hopefully this will just cut a little bit off my coal consumption. I've got a bad habit and I need to get rid of it as quickly as I can. There's radio. How much aluminium have I got? 3 sources. 1 in the desert. Brilliant. 1 under an amazing farm. That is a little bit annoying. That's going to remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 food from this city. Removing that farm. That is very frustrating. And some underneath the district. Excellent. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 more projects finished. That will put me on to 2,200. So I'm going to need to save up about 1,500 gold to win this emergency. I think that's fine. We can do that. Just don't spend your gold, Ursa. Keep saying it with me. Don't spend your gold, because I will. I will spend it. It's the first thing I'll do. It always is. The words "don't spend" will be ushered from my lips, and immediately I'll be like, ooh, why don't I buy a stock exchange? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock electricity quickly. This unlocks oil power, which is not useful at the moment because we don't know what oil is, but it also unlocks a seaport, and that, using Cardiff, gives me more power. So a city like Munich can actually become self-sufficient again. It's the idea. It's a bit circular, but it makes sense in my head. And if it makes sense in my head, then maybe it makes sense in yours as well. Okay, time to steal some tech, including combined arms. I think that's just hand-holding, isn't it? There you go. That's a thinker joke for you. Oh, it's pretty terrible. 3 aluminium for 20 uranium? Yeah, go on then. I mean, how did you get uranium? Is this a question I want to ask? I don't know if it is. And she Hattusa. Hattusa is giving her uranium. That's fine. We know that. Petra! I built this because of spite. Look at that. Look at that empty plot of land in Spain. Ha 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 ha. What you gonna do about it, Spain? What you gonna do about it? Nothing there, is there? No. And Corona has flipped to me, naturally giving me a score. We've got ourselves the golden age age that we so wanted. We should be golden from this point until the end of the game now. I hope. I hope, and I say optimistically. Time for ideology. It has this wonderful card. Where is it? 5-year plan. Campus and industrial zone district adjacencies all on the same card. So it frees up a policy in my government. It's wonderful. You love to see it. There is something I do want though, and that is 3 envoys from having a themed building. It's always worth having a look at previously earned artists. Now there's quite a few of them, but what you're looking for is there the same type of work across 3 different artists? There is. Religious, religious, religious. In fact, landscape, landscape, landscape. There's both. So we're going to have a look at the market after we do just a little bit of selling. We're going to work out what is the cheapest thing to buy. Is it religious, which is about 18 or 21 gold per turn, or is it landscape at 25? It's religious. So we've got Rublev. That's all you have. Okay, that's fine. We'll buy that. Go straight into Munich. Lovely. Now we'll go over here, and this is Bosch, and we'll buy that as well. Excellent. And the third one is a Mapuche, and I don't actually think they've put it down yet. No, you haven't. Come on. I'm going to have to buy one of their statues in order to make them put it down. This is a little bit annoying. This is what the daycare's for. Right, come on. Mapuche, put your new religious work down, and I can use it. So this always slightly pains me because Turing was a very, very cool scientist, but I have already taken Ada Lovelace, who was giving me the boost to computers. So I don't need another boost to computers. I would rather have Nobel. Now, Nobel gives me a bunch of great people points for every single great person. It's just generally very useful for getting other great persons. So I'm going to pass and hope. Yep, there you go. The AI immediately got the next one, and then Nobel is up for grabs in 5 turns. Lovely. There's my trade route to Coupe, by the way. Amazing. We've got trade routes to almost everybody now. Still settling all of this new continent. Is it very good? No. But do I have a sprawling empire now? Yeah, I do. Okay, 1 turn remaining, and as you can see, we need about, I'm going to give about 1,400 gold to India. It's a bit of a waste, but actually no, 1,500 because I'm really lazy. That should win me the project, and that should win me the 2 diplomacy points, and it just keeps me in check with everything else. You can see I'm still teching up nicely. 450 science per turn is very good. My tourism is beginning to climb now. I'm just using the base. I'm using the base to give me everything. Theatre squares, campuses, production, gold. I say you can't have it all, but with Germany, I think you can. So Zulu is still at war with Cardiff, but they cannot get in. I've totally surrounded Cardiff. I've neutralized the attack. I feel very good about this. That's one of my more genius plans. Geneva has been defeated. Really? Who just destroyed Geneva? Coupe. Oh dear. You are very lucky that you're my ally. Otherwise, I would send an army down there to liberate it immediately. It might reappear in the game, but that is a little bit annoying because that was going to be one of my targets to try and claim. Yeah, Geneva was giving me 3 for research labs, 6 for every campus. 6 science for every campus. Big loss, that one. Never mind. Aid request. Yeah, unless England gives over 1,000 gold, which she doesn't have in this turn, I think I've won it. See, now that I've got a couple of art museums, all of my other theatre squares, I'm going to be building archaeological museums because I've got so many scientist points coming in at the moment. I've got pretty much total control over them. And later into the game, you have Mary Leakey. She gives you 300% bonus tourism to artifacts. It's huge. And when you're playing like I am at the moment, where you've got both science and culture in abundance, well worth keeping an eye on that sort of stuff. Makes a big difference. Seaside Resort. It's a little bit of gold, but most importantly, it's a lot of tourism. So what I'm doing is I'm luring the Barbarian into my city trap here, leaving James Watt on this tile. The field cannon will go, ooh, I'll capture it. And then suddenly Bremen and Nuremberg will be able to both attack with their city attacks. It's genius, I say. There we go. We finally got the piece of religious art. Oh, unfortunately, they don't want to sell it. Yeah, they do. Okay, that's good. And there we go. Cultural heritage. It's been boosted. As you can see, 1, 2, 3. A little bit of extra tourism. It's all good. More importantly, it gives me the 3 envoys I need because somebody stole Auckland from me, and I don't like that. I'm also going to take Taruga, which will give 15% bonus science in my capital. Just slowly recovering from that loss of Geneva. It might be, actually. Coupe is going to lose Geneva through loyalty, so what I might do is I might send my army down to go and capture it. Let's just bring my army into the sea. We've got a lot of upgrading to do to make it relevant, but I've unlocked things like anti-tank. I could send some very strong units down to go and liberate it, and that would bring it back into the game. Oh, this is a good idea. This is a really good idea. Oh, this sometimes happens with large farm output. You've cleared all the forest, so droughts happen a lot. You just have to get used to it, okay? It's just something that happens. Oh, crippling blizzard. This kills a population. Aid request. Yeah, England did do another 400 at the end of that, but we get their 100 diplo favor, and most importantly, the 2 points. There There we go. And the bait was received successfully. 1 and 2. This is just a very clever way, I think, of clearing barbarians. And James Watt comes out again to rinse and repeat. Horatio Nelson, I'm going to send you immediately to my New World cities because there is a harbour here that has been waiting for you that needs a lighthouse and a shipyard. Amazing. So I have electricity, just a couple of turns into computers now. That will give me the walls, which are lovely. I feel like I am the one making the world flood, and I should probably prepare for the worst. I'm not going to stop. Don't get me wrong, I should stop. I'm not going to. I'm just going to hide behind walls myself. That's the fair and nice thing to do, isn't it? This is something else that I can do now as well. Hydroelectric dam. This is going to give this city so much renewable power. It should basically take it off the grid. Amazing. Can I actually build a second? No. I've got 2 dams in this city. Unfortunately, it doesn't build it in both. I would love it if you could build it in both. That would be really handy. But no, alas. Right, fine. With that extra power, it means I can now invest in a couple of buildings that consume power. The seaport doesn't, the stock exchange does, and the broadcast center does. Okay, so we're going to go stock exchange, seaport, broadcast tower in that order. Another trade route. Huzzah! Now, they've thrown walls up in Geneva already, which is a bit annoying, but they are going to lose it still. They are going to lose it still. Oh, that's a mega eruption, and it's taken out my source of coal. Oh, no. Why does the coal have to be right under a volcano? Why? Come on, world. I need an infusion of coal. Thank you. It's an expensive habit, this one. Blimey. We've got another hit. We have our hit. It's fine. Still getting Renaissance walls, fighting against that carbon emissions penalty. And I can now put an aid request in for myself, which I'm going to do and add as a proposal, because England is still throwing projects up all the time, and every time they do a project, I'll get the gold, which will be very handy. And flood barriers. The turn you unlock this, you go through, and every single city that can build a flood barrier needs to do it quickly. If you build them before the first level of climate change, they are at their cheapest. So what you do, you select your capital, do it, and then if you're using a keyboard, you can press the square bracket buttons to go between your cities. This is what I do sometimes. So I'm going to go between the cities one by one and just make sure that we have got them being built. Not every city will need one, but if it does need one, better to lock in the production cost now whilst it's really cheap. And oh dear, my first spy. Right, here we go. So that was a promoted spy with sources gained doing a project that it had a promotion in, and it still got killed. I think it was a 3% chance. Oh dear. I don't know why I bother with spies. I mean, I did all the right things there. It just didn't work. Never mind. We go again. Oh, Spain. I can't promise I'm going to stop spying on you. What I will do though is, give the world a hit of aluminium. Yes, I'm still selling all of the strategics I can get hold of. Anything on the market, yeah, it's yours. You can buy it if the price is right. Well, computers has also given me 25% bonus tourism, which is lovely. Next up, I want to discover iron. By iron, of course, I mean oil. Oil is something that I can use as a replacement to coal, and just a couple of power plants will take the coal demand off. Now, if a Hansa has crazy adjacency, like Munich, Aachen, Berlin, Ulm, Frankfurt, all of these, I never really want to change that. They all want to stay as coal power plants because they gain production based on adjacency. However, these Hansa, +1, +2, +3, oil works better in those because it gives a flat production bonus and it would use a different resource, so I might actually get away with it for a bit. Ideology. Excellent. Now we lose the ability to build walls twice as fast with ideology. However, we get this card. Seaports, Renaissance walls, military academies all give 2 science. Renaissance walls give science as well as diplomatic favor. It's a really good thing. 5-year plan combines 2 cards we were using together, which is lovely. We have 1 more policy. I'm just going to take forced modernization because I'm upgrading an army I'm sending to Liberate Geneva. There you go. Done for now. And then we need to pick a government. And here is the choice. This is kind of where we need to decide what sort of victory are we going for, because if we're going for science, we want to take the best government available to us, and there's some options. Communism works really, really well if you're just focusing on building space projects, and maybe you're having a little bit of a fight or the world doesn't like you very much, because it gives you 10% bonus science and production just for having population. It's amazing. There's also a really wonderful card that gives you 2 production and 4 food on domestic trade routes. Internal trading, however, democracy. This one just inherently lets you buy things with gold cheaper, which is amazing for somebody earning so much gold. Gives you bonus food and production to any trade route with an ally. It's like twice the effect of Wisselbanken, which is already a really good card. And I have allies everywhere. And you get this new deal: 4 housing and 2 amenities to every city with at least 3 specialty districts. I am Germany. I want to play that. However, what I will do is take a hit on tourism to anybody that has a different government to me, as long as a government in question is tier 3 or above. So, for instance, if I just explain this, I am a different government to Lautaro. He's classical republic. I am a monarchy. However, both of those governments are tier 2 or less, which means when I have a look at the tourism, I have a reduced 0% for different governments. However, Zulu is a fascist. Oh dear. That is a tier 3 government. So because of that, I have a minus 20% penalty to tourism. That's because he has a tier 3 government. If I go democracy, not only are we going to be different, but we're both going to be tier 3 or above. So that penalty will go to 40%. In fact, I will gain a 20% penalty with every single person on tourism. It's a huge hit to tourism. I mean, you can see it. I'm gaining 516 per turn with Lautaro and 447 with Shaka. It's worth about 70 tourism per turn. It's big. It will, however, supercharge my economy. So those are the sort of trade-offs you want. If you're going for culture, you almost want to ignore tier 3 governments and go straight for professional sports, because building estadio, aquatic centers, stadiums, these will make your cities essentially ecstatic. There's nothing the AI can do to stop you. You just become ecstatic, 20% yields in every city. It's wonderful. Now I'm going refining into biosphere, and until I get biosphere, my tourism isn't going to be as crazy high as possible. So what I'm actually going to do is go for democracy, use that to build up my economy, work on science, find lots of different renewable energy, build my tourism up, and then change back to a tier 2 government, because there's 2 I haven't used yet: Merchant Republic and Reformed Church, giving me theocracy. So it's kind of a weird way of doing this, but I'm using the economy from a tier 3 government before the tourism gets high. 349 tourism is not high. If you want to win a tourism victory on Deity, you need probably between about 1,500 to 2,500 tourism, depending on the AI you're up against and how useful your bonuses are. So right now, this is a good time to take advantage of this. Oh, Nobel. Look at that. It's just given me 2 great people for 3. So there is a writer and there is an artist. Sometimes you have to step in on cities and say, are you really working the right tiles? It gets yield blindness. It goes, look at all these yields, science and faith and culture. Like inland, that is a 6 food tile. Go and work that and you'll actually grow. Like this city as well. It's not working any tiles that are going to grow the city out. Just work these farms, then you'll have population, then you can work the crazy mines, okay? Yeah, always worth stepping in every now and then. There's every unit upgraded. Look at this. That is an anti-tank crew with a very useful promotion. We are off to Geneva. It'll flip in 5 turns. I think we should have arrived by then. It's the anti-tank crew cause. 85 strength. We should be okay. Remember to buy in all of your great works of writing before your tourism gets too high. Otherwise, what you'll find is once you get tourism above about half, the AI stops trading great works with you. So better to get them in early, get the use out of them, and then worry about it a little bit later. And as you can see, we're still getting trade routes with, say, Nubia. That's the first route there. And India. There's another trade route there as well. Perfect. We need 4 sewers. We really don't have 4 sewers yet, do we? That's crazy. Let's just use our high production cities to put these in. Oh yeah, 1 turn sewers? Go on then. We're still using World Congress for that. Yeah, we are. Okay, look at that. We'll get all 4 sewers in 1 turn. Beautiful. Zulu and Spain are still fighting religiously over my land. It is crazy looking at them. Yeah, aid request. I've got enough allies. I'm hoping this will go through. I'll put 3 votes in just to kind of nudge it over the edge. The one I'm looking at is Mapuche. You're going to be my diplomatic rival on the next Congress. Oh yeah, somebody voted against. Everyone voted against except Coupe. Oh, why didn't people want to give me anything? Okay, Coupe has basically just earned themselves 2 diplomacy points, and unfortunately, Coupe isn't contributing at all, so that is totally useless. Never mind. Oh, again, this is a promoted spy with sources trying to steal a secret, and he gets captured. What did I say? What do I say? It's just spies and me. That's 2 for 2. I've done everything I can. Oh dear, I haven't done everything I can. There are some things I could have done. I could build intelligence agency. I could put cards in that give me a little bit more spy power, but I mean, I haven't even unlocked that. Where is that? Cold War? Yes, cryptography. Honestly, the game, sometimes, tear your hair out. You love it, but you tear your hair out. I can't promise I'm going to stop spying against you. It's an honor. So I finished the Hansa on my new little island, and look, I've put it in such a place that the factory covers all of my cities. And I still have one charge of James Watt. Bam. All of these cities suddenly will have a lot more production now. Yeah, I've almost doubled it. Love it. Oh no, there's a military emergency against Geneva. Just as it was about to flip. Just as it was about to flip. That gives 20 loyalty per turn, and it means Geneva is now loyal. Oh, so I've got to wait to see if England or India destroys it. Now, India is on the border, so I'm hoping it will go through. I can wait 24 turns and then go in myself if I want to. That's a little bit annoying. I thought I'd get a sneaky liberation there. Maybe I wasn't as sneaky as first I thought. Maybe. Hattusa! 3 more science from my research labs. 525 science now. Excellent. And Tesla. This district's regional buildings provide 2 production. This is a really interesting one because regional buildings is a power plant, and it means that the building reaches 3 tiles further and has +2 production on its regional yield. A coal power plant has no regional yield. That bonus production it gains is just in that city. It does not count as a regional yield. However, oil power does. That +3 production can get boosted by Tesla, and that can go up to 7 with both charges. So Tesla is only usable, or really should only be used, in a city that's going to have an oil power plant. Now, if I just show you the range on this, if I were to build an oil power plant in this city, these are the cities it would cover. So most of my heartland, but not Berlin and Frankfurt. 1 charge of Tesla will increase it to this range, which suddenly increases to these 2 cities, and then a second charge, which does stack, I have tested, goes to that, which will be, I believe, every city apart from Augsburg. Oh, that's a shame. But every city will have 7 production. So Tesla, I'm just going to wait, build the factory in that city, build the oil power plant. Oh, another useful thing, you don't need oil to get that +7 production, because that is a regional yield. It's got nothing to do with the oil, so build it anyway. Yes, see? Don't say I don't teach you anything on these games, eh? Stack that production as Germany. It is worth it. Every single time. Keep selling everything. We'll get the oil power as quickly as we can. I'm going to keep sending my units over, just in case, but I'm not expecting to be able to do anything here. Oh, I took a city in the south. Nice. That's really cool. Doesn't have anything except from a little bit of aluminium, but that's okay. There's rifling, and here's suffrage, and this is a new era, the modern era. I'm in a golden age. Nubia's gone heroic, England has gone golden, India and Zulu are normal, Mapuche, Coupe, and Spain are all dark age. Good to know. Actually, that's well timed. I got 2 era score in the new age for that one. What am I going to do? I really enjoy getting more production, but for me, gold is more important right now because my campus adjacency isn't as big as the amount of trade routes I've got. So we'll pick up that one. I'm on 329 gold. Yeah, 460. It's worth almost 50% extra gold for me. That's a big amount. Well, we've unlocked democracy. Time to switch over to it. So invention, we're going to have to get rid of because I need to keep the tier 2 government card, which I haven't actually unlocked yet. So we're going to have to unlock that pretty quickly. Visselbanken's really helpful, but I'm going to take Raj. Do I want that? No, Machiavellianism. I'm just going to go in all on spies. We're going to try and do something useful with spies. 5-year plan, public works. Let's put in New Deal because this will give 22 amenities across my biggest cities. Any city with 3 specialty districts. In fact, we're going to make that even better. I'm now going to put liberalism in as well. Another 13 amenities. Any city with 2 districts or more. With Hansas, with Germany, that should be relatively easy to do. Military research. Perfect. Let's see how well this works. And yeah, already you can see Munich +5 amenities. That's going to change, unfortunately, because there's 2 luxuries in this city. So that will wibble around, but I think we've made every city happy now. Oh, look how much science I've got. It's amazing to see. And some of these trade routes now, yeah, these are pretty awesome. 6 food, 7 production, 35 gold. Yeah, we need as many trade routes as we can get. Next up, professional sports. I need 2 entertainment complexes. I thought I had 2. Clearly I don't. When you're choosing artifacts, always go city-states if you can, but otherwise just vary it up. I'm going to go Shaka this time. It doesn't matter overly. Oh, look at this. I have some adjacency here on some theatre squares. There is a forest there, which is quite useful, but I'm going to pop an entertainment complex down because it's going to give really good adjacency to those 2 theatre squares. No real reason to do that. It's just nice to see. And the factory's been bought in this city. You can see there's a 15% discount on all purchasing now. That is always welcome. And here is purchasing an oil power plant. Bam. Advanced ballistics is boosted, and then we'll immediately go and use Tesla. You can see already, if I look at the production in this city, do you see that? +5 from oil power plant. A city like Aachen is now getting 24 from coal power, and once I just wibble that around, you'll see in a couple of turns, the oil power will kick in as well. We've also gone into a new era, so I'm going to start making national parks. Every time I do so, it gives me era score. It gives 2 amenities to the city you build it in, and 1 to the closest 4 cities. So 6 in total. Really good. A huge chunk of tourism. There's not much else to do with my faith, and this is all spare land that I can immediately and very easily put woods into, so this works really well. Let's get the intelligence agency going as well. We're going to resume our spies. Resume the spies as soon as we can. It's time to vote. Okay, some difficult ones here, but equally some easy ones if you know how to go about them. Now that the game is in the modern era, we've got this third option, which is diplomatic victory. You win this, you gain 2 diplomatic victory points. Now, we've had Renaissance Wars and Monarchy up the entire game, so we've got a really, really high score. Unfortunately, Mapuche does as well. However, one thing you do have over the AI is determination. Pick yourself and then put all of your favor in. 12 votes. Hopefully, they won't be as resolved. They might put 10 or 11 in. Typically, you see that. World's Fair, generating great people points per turn for 1 diplomacy point. Done. And then we have 81 favor left and 2 rather whimsical things. Now, luxury policy and patronage. Now, on both of them, the AI very rarely votes very heavily, especially with diplomatic victory enabled. So if we really target something, we might be able to influence this. AI always bans, so we're going to ban a luxury and we're going to ban people. That tends to be the safer option. And you can see last time coffee went in. However, I don't think coffee will go in this time. It's the 4th most populous luxury. Whales and pearls are at the bottom. Maybe salt? Now, I'm always tempted to vote right at the bottom. Go for whales. However, looking at pearls actually has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people on it. It just depends on how badly we think Spain is going to be targeted. I like the fact that everyone has pearls. I think the AI will be like, oh, maximum damage. Let's vote to defeat that. We'll put 4 votes in. And then great people is a bit more of a guess. It likes to ban things, but I mean, it could be banning anything. I'm going to vote to ban admirals because I think out of everything, the AI doesn't really have much interest in this. So it might go, okay, I'll ban a lot. Look, there's 4 people who don't have any admiral points at all. So I'll tip that. I'm not as sure as that one. So what I could do is I could put 3 votes in each, but I'm actually going to put 4 votes into luxury and 2 into patronage and hope, pray, cross our fingers that at least one of them goes through. Venetian Arsenal decides to be built at this point. It's really pretty, lets you double build boats, but that is not really that important. And no musicians. Interesting. I was the only person to go admiral, so that was a little bit pointless. 8 points on merchant. Yeah, this is really difficult to predict, but pearls. There you go. I went for it and Spain went for it pretty heavily. I think we got quite lucky there. 1 person went Wales, 1 coffee, 1 salt. Nobody could decide. Okay, so we came in pretty hard and fast. We agreed with Spain. Perfect. Actually, we could have even swayed that to option A. That's the crazy thing here. Yeah, mad. But most importantly, we walked away from that, I believe, with 4 points. Yeah, 2 from the resolution to give us 2 points, and then we won at that, so we get an extra 1, and we won at the luxury, so we get an extra 1 from that. So we're on 4 points. That takes us to 17. If we win this aid request, we get another 2. That takes us to 19. If we win World's Fair, we get another 1. That takes us to 20. So far, so good, eh? So where is my oil? Some is in the desert. Cardiff has some, and some on this random island. So I could bring some oil in per turn. I was really thinking about making this into a paradise of national parks, but okay, yeah, we'll get that. In goes Tesla. Bam. Oil power plants get even bigger and bigger. They may not stack on top of the coal power plant. I thought they did, but it might be that I'm getting it slightly confused with vertical integration. If we put that, we should get all of the oil as well. Excellent. Look how much oil and aluminium Geneva has. Coupe. Strike of genius taking this city on. I want to come in and have a quick peek around. How likely is it that India is going to take it? With a bombard just sat outside? Fairly likely. There you go. Vertical integration. I'm doing it just to show you how effective effectively this does tend to stack. Oil power plant, coal power plant, yeah, it's all good. 200 production in that city. Yes, very lovely indeed. Can I have my spy back, by the way? Yeah, go on, man. What are you good at? Foment unrest. Is there a city nearby that I could just do some loyalty damage to? Toledo? Yeah, actually, that's not a bad idea. Let's go over to Toledo. You do not have a promotion, annoyingly. So you will counter spy in Munich just to stop Pingala from being killed. There's some oil. In my ever-expanding quest to be happy and high appeal, putting that wood down means that I can now build another national park. Lovely. Oh, India do have a Curacao core. Come on, make an effort, India. I want to see you really attack this space. I wish I could gift units. Remember you used to be able to gift units? That was the best thing about Civ 5. Just walking over to a city-state and gifting a unit or an ally and going, oh no, look at that. You seem to have this army that no one realized about. So funny. Okay, Invention is now out and Monarchic Legacy's back in. Watch this. 13 diplomatic favor. Looks good, doesn't it? It's pretty good. Nope, 37. Nobody can contest me with that level of diplomatic favor coming in. It's how you win diplomatic victories against the AI. It's really, really handy. I'd recommend you do it. I built a canal. Of course I did. And plastics means that I can get some oil in the sea if it appears. 2 techs away now from the biosphere from geothermal plants. Entertainment complex is going to get built next turn, so we'll move off professional sports, and I'm going to just pick up science foundations. This card is amazing. 2 science points for every university, 4 from a research lab. 2 engineer points for a factory, 4 from a power plant. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this will almost triple how many points I'm making per turn. It is an amazing card. And as soon as we get into the modern era, the merchants begin to get really helpful as well. We have a look at the modern era, you can see +1 level of diplomatic visibility with all other civilizations. That is +3 combat strength with everybody. You need her. Sarah Breedlove is 25% tourism for all civilizations. If you've got a trade route, you need her as well. So there's going to be a lot of cities now that start to produce both commercial hubs, but also some commercial projects in order just to rush this stuff through as much as we can get it. I'm going to preload some cities to do some aid projects now that we're 7 turns out. Again, we've done this before. I find it just a very good use of production. Means that we have to give Mapuche a little bit less gold in order to win these points off England, hopefully. And World's Fair, you can see, yeah, Germany never loses on this one. With all of those engineering points coming in and then theatre squares coming in on top of that, I mean, it's literally just the number of great people points. Theatre squares count as triple because you're getting writers, artists, and musicians. It's amazing. Professional sports, we will be permanently happy very soon. England's at war with Coupe and they've showed up with a tank. That's what you want to see. Yes, AI, well done. We're just about to take the tech lead, by the way. So if you were wondering how we were doing technology-wise, well, if spies are in home territory, enemy spies operate less well. Good for counter-spying, but I'm gonna go siphon funds and try and steal some money. Money is always fun to steal. Aid. Yeah, we're just diverting all of our city's production into aid projects just a little bit. I don't want to save on as much gold as we can get. Focus on your victory condition and it will look after you. Okay, the English tank is just skulking around. It's not attacking the city. Never rely on the AI to actually do a decent attack. It'll find a way to muck it up. It always does. I'm going to get rid of Republican Legacy now because Science Foundations is a better card, and now that we are putting advanced buildings like stadiums and aquatic centers up, we should be okay. I shouldn't need that card going forward. I hope. Fingers crossed. And finally, a very special shout out goes to Glorious Petra, Matthew Wilkinson, Paul Coffey, Portland, Clint Hennis, Scott Stratton, Major King Kong, Skeptical Bear, Cinnamon Beard, Petra Ryan, Radiatore, Private Selection, Genoa Salami, Callum Billy, Garrett Gowan, Polar Beret, El Truant, Creston, RB Hedged, Mushkin Mandletort, Deeble Time, Burial, I'm Daft, Gooberman, Dr. Bobby, Polar Wallabear, Mixomatosis, NTG Golfman, Victor McPupster, Indigenous 68, Technology Poet, Teddy's Ursa, Zaf, Barnaby Rex, Sharky Bates, Charlie Bears. Thank you everyone for your support. See you all in the next video. Goodbye!